We are back in the outdoor studio ready to review round 3.
Come on.
Hello and welcome back to Off the Mark, an AFL Fantasy podcast. I'm Mason.
I'm Casey, and that was a pretty shit week for us. Fantasy-wise, was great.
But I thought you were talking about fantasy.
Nah,
I was going to say, my fantasy was pretty good.
Fantasy all right, but
look, this is a fantasy podcast.
fantasy podcast.
We don't have to talk about the actual football
Sunday
if you
games
don't want
didn't
to.
exist.
Sunday. I was at work Sunday, so nothing happened, right?
But yeah,
they had to cancel cycling.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
But no, fantasy-wise, it was actually pretty good. I
Yeah.
scored 18-21 this week with having Ed Richards on the bye, which I was pretty happy with.
That's pretty good. Having a
pretty
primo,
solid. So
yeah.
18-21 gets me just inside the 10K, so I'm at 9,231.
Nice.
Feeling pretty happy about that. Yourself?
There you go. Well, round 3, here we go. So I scored a 1835. First week I pipped you. Gone down to 15K. So in my rank, so went 51K, 25K, 15K. So we're getting down there, which is good. Overview of my week, I guess. I had a lot of plans for who I was trading out. I was hoping no injuries and I could get rid of these Windsors, Parishes, blah, blah, blah. Wins at 96 was fantastic, so no need to get rid of him. Parish can go, though, at 73, and Windy can go at 78 on his bye.
Yeah.
It was terrible. I'm very glad that, although Casey mentioned that I'd written in our document I was going Butters captain.
Yep.
I did go the C's captain, thank God, for a 2 or 130, whatever it was, 136 there instead of the 86 that Butters scored. Grant Myers, great trade in. Zorko, pass. I'll give him a pass. It wasn't great, but he was tagged quite well for a 95, so I'll give that a pass. But uniques in LDU and Brayshaw going 125 and 93 was handy. Steele kind of unique 135. I had a good week with English and on my bench, all my rookies not playing, Buderick not playing, and fielding 19 as well.
Yeah,
not bad.
Pretty solid. Yeah, no, I was kind of happy with my trades. I did Grant Myers 123, pretty solid, and then I went Dacos over Zorko. I was kind of forced to. If I had the cash to go up, I would have gone Zorko, so I'm kind of blessed that I didn't.
Yeah,
but we'll see how that goes.
Not bad. Apologies if you can hear the
boat
dinghy on the Torrens in the background.
Yeah.
Hopefully the voice thing.
All the birds that just landed on our table.
Well, hopefully we're painting a nice picture for maybe how your fantasy team went, because there seem to be a lot of good people doing some good scoring this week. Should we get to the game?
Let's do it.
So Geelong Adelaide on the Thursday night. This was an interesting one. So we saw for Geelong, bang for Bailey Smith. Maybe he was the right option to go in the midfield. Yeah. 151 he scored, and
pretty solid.
Gee, if you were looking for a premium, who would say no to Bailey Smith?
And he's low owned as well. His ownership's not particularly high. So
I have a feeling it'll be relatively high this morning as people have made their trades.
But 154, 40 disposals, 10 tackles. That's the next level.
Yep. So 90 break even he has, and he is 10% owned now. So he's only gone up 2% as it stands. So maybe people have gone up to Dacos, and he could be a bit of a unique that. I can see him doing similar things.
Exactly right. Well, he did that all last year. So
yep, exactly. Highest averaging player. So 151 for him. You're pretty happy if you had him, got him off his bye or held him over a bye. And I definitely think you're pretty happy to trade into him. Another guy that you're probably pretty happy to have in your team is Grant Myers. A lot of people went for a 127. Yeah. I think this was just the right move.
53 last quarter.
Yeah, fantastic. I think it was 6 tackles in that last quarter or something. It was just, and he had him in quite a close succession, period. Yeah, so in 5 minutes it says here. So pretty good from him. You're just happy with that. Happy to roll that top 6 forward. Pretty much set and forget. That's exactly right. And Max Holmes, the other big premium in this one, 111. Probably happy if you went there as well. I know he was an alternative for a lot of Nick Dacos avoiders. So
not as big as they could have been, but still pretty good.
No, but a 111 solid. And I mean, this is against Adelaide, who have been a hard team in the past. So look, who knows? We'll see what the fixture difficulty table says about them next week. Right. Once everyone's had their bye, I'll get that out and we'll start to use that. But all 3 of them were passes if you had them. In fact, overwhelmingly passes. You know, big ticks. Guy who probably wasn't a tick though was Tanner Bruin, 53, but he did have the nose. Broke his nose. So I mean,
shocked. He had 0 points in the last quarter. It clearly rattled him. So,
and this happened end of the first quarter, I think, or start of the second
start of
quarter.
second,
was
yeah,
it? Yeah. So look, to come back on
Yeah.
and score 20 points in the third quarter and then 0 in the last, yeah, it's not
That's
great.
tough,
but look, to get him to a 53, at least he hit his break even.
Exactly. And
He
he's
probably
still,
doesn't make as much cash as we thought now,
but
but
it's still a good score, and he's still at a break even of. I hate on the phone app how it doesn't change it anyway.
39 is his
Yeah.
break even.
So he would still hit that gun feebly. Oh, this isn't. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he comes up against the Hawks this week, but then Eagles, Bulldogs, Port, North Melbourne, Collingwood is a nice little next six. So I think we're holding him. I think if you look for mid prices to go, you're not getting rid of him off of one bad score because of an injury.
Yeah.
He can obviously still play and will still play for us. Over to Adelaide.
Yeah.
So top scorer for them was Josh Rochelle now.
Would have been good.
Maybe Graham Myers
Save
wasn't the
300K.
ultimate, like,
So,
yeah, but I just think for the season long, you're locking in Myers. I think
Exactly.
that's just a big
Rochelle
win.
might, as soon as Dawson comes back and Isaac Rankins finds some form, he could go back straight to forward line.
Well, let's talk Rankins straight away. 21
I've
got
seen
tagged.
Mullen, man. He's
Yeah,
crazy.
this is something. So going into Geelong's fixture here that I just read out. So Hawks this week, we're obviously not going to have any issues. Eagles, we're probably not going to have any issues. Won't tag a Dev Rob.
No, I wouldn't tag a Dev Rob.
Bulldogs.
Bond.
I wouldn't.
Would it go to Bond?
I wouldn't. I think Bond's kind of untaggable. I mean, who can tag him unless you're a bigger body?
If anyone can, it would be O'Shane. Or does he go somewhere different?
Yeah, I wonder if he just maybe goes, you know what, I might not get this. Let's go to an Ed Richards. Let's go to a
Freya, even if he puts together some good
possibly.
games.
But yeah, the Bond could be the worry there. Jack Butters is next. That's an immediate worry because he's quite easy to tag. North, that could go to a Sheasel, probably. An LDU, maybe a McKercher. Yeah. So it's a concern for sure. But look, Rankin's getting cheap for us.
Correct.
That's a good thing.
Correct.
So he's
Dropping a
gone
lot in
down,
price.
50K I think he did. So he'll get cheap for us and could challenge for that kind of top six forward. Other names there for the Crows, McAndrew 93 was so solid.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
Geelong's a great matchup, but he's
40 hit outs, just three points straight there.
I'm so glad that I didn't end up. We'll talk about Jackson later, but didn't end up upgrading off of that 1 week that I said I would. So he comes up next against Freo. This is the worry. Freo.
The double run.
Darcy, Jackson. I've said a few weeks in a row now, does Darcy get dropped? It doesn't look like he's going to be. It looks like they're happy to play both of them. And if they're not, Cox probably comes in. They're always going to play two rucks, I think.
Yeah, well, we saw Max Gawn go 127 against Freo last week. And
my issue more is that do they bring in dual rucks to compete with dual rucks?
Right.
So does Riley O'Brien come in to, play a little bit? I just think he's so far out of the game. Like, he's just not... He's playing well in the sand pool, but of course he is. I mean, he's Riley O'Brien. So he's not a bad player. But again, I guess that's maybe where they could bring him in. So Freo maybe not, but Carlton, okay. St Kilda, Brisbane, Port. So he's not got a terrible run coming up. Should be all right.
Yeah, hopefully.
Stay there. Cook?
Shit,
How good was Cook? 83. Nice little
radar,
nice little rookie score for us there in the bye week. So he's someone that if you had and you weren't very happy with his score last week, this is what I saw in round one when he scored, what was it, like 70-something? 84 in round one, so 83 here. It's great. And he's going to have these games. I mean, he's got 84, 48, and now 83. He's going to have these games playing on a cold wing, but I think that, look, he's great. You're probably fielding him.
Yeah, for sure.
He's probably
especially
him and Dev Rob.
With All About on the bye.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. So he can be a good replacement. Again, apologies to the Birds. Hopefully we don't get shot on.
But they had a 42 third quarter. So
he can score. He can score. And Wayne Miller is probably the other one we should talk about. 68. This is such a disappointing trade, and if you did this,
it's tough.
It was such a like.
A lot of people did too.
Yeah. For me, it was such a Monday morning, chucking in my team, don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Oh, now I've kind of gained consciousness over the week and I don't want to do it. But
he has the most meters gained. You can't forget that. That was a great call.
Great call, yes. 111 he scored in round one to back it up with a 74 and a 68. Not great. These Birds are really not leaving us alone. Hopefully you can't hear that.
I don't know how you would be able to hear that.
No. Oh, well. I'm going to cut that out. That's funny. All right. On to Collingwood v Giants, which is the Friday night game. And Nick Dacos, do we have to say anything? Just 140. A lot of people are saying, can you... Fuck, the noise just doesn't go away. That doesn't play. This is ridiculous. We really need to get back
Go back to the
inside, I
studio,
think.
yeah.
Yeah. So 140 for Dacos. I think it's safe to say, I think there's a lot of talk about when do you get him if you don't get him now, or is he too expensive now to get him? If you can get him, if you can afford him, a lot of people are saving cash at the moment and are still going to have cash left over this week. I mean, there's not many people right now that have under 100K in their bank, even after trades this week. So if you can get him, go for it. I mean, I'm just short of cash to go him this week, so I can't. But if I could, man, easy. He'd be an easy trade. And I think that you're just locking that away as he's probably M1, probably.
Yeah.
If not M2 or 3, like he's not far off.
Yeah.
Captain option,
Exactly.
you just pay up. You just pay up. Same we did for Zorko last week, which obviously didn't turn out super well in 1 week, but will for the season, I think. But, I mean, hell, Josh Dacos, the next guy, 120. Maybe it was the right call to go a bit cheaper, bit more value, but he'll be a top 6. I'm hoping to get him in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
He's a premium, probably the defender premium I'm targeting.
Yeah.
Maybe him or Ash off his
Ash
buy.
is-
Yeah.
pretty solid.
Those are the two I think that we're going to need. And yeah, hopefully it doesn't get too expensive too quickly.
Houston,
Yeah.
disappointing. 78.
I said this.
You did
I
say
said this.
this.
I just got to say I said this. 78. So he just
Kicked a
didn't
goal as well.
kicked a goal. Had the most. I think he had 4 out of 4, 5 out of 5 kick-ins. Like was the number 1 kick-in guy. His stat line doesn't even look that bad. 17 kicks, 1 handball. That's good, but it's just he didn't. I don't know. Didn't do it.
The marks that he's been getting last couple of games that he didn't get.
5,
He's been getting north of 8 and 9. So.
Yeah. I mean, still hit his break even. His break even now even is still 51, which he should hit.
Still low.
Brisbane. So they played the Saints. Was it Brisbane Saints?
Brisbane Saints, yep.
So we saw, who did we see? Sinclair was good again against them, top scorer for Saints. So he should be fine.
Yeah.
Then Freo, Carlton, Essendon, Hawthorn. If you traded into it, it's a bit shit to have that 78 as a trade-in, but I think you just bank on having him now.
Yeah.
You still get a bit more cash off him, not as much as some others, but
yeah, he'll be doing all
I
right.
think you're fine.
Worth mentioning Oscar Steen.
Yep, and Darby Cameron.
Yeah, so Steen played really well.
He did.
He didn't score as well as like someone you want as a full ruckman, but he scored 50 as a rookie in a dual ruck. That's awesome. So
what is he? Is he a ruckman or is he a ruck? I think he's a ruck
forward in the game.
Well, there you go. If they're willing to go with this, because Cameron looked shafted. I mean, he played most of the game at half forward. I'm just trying to get his numbers up. So Cameron had 43% ruck contests and 42% CBAs. He had less ruck contests than Steen.
Because Steen, he's got hops, man. He's tall and he can jump, so he just won all the taps. But yeah, it's kind of funny because Steen in the first and the third quarter scored really well, and then the second quarter scored a 2, fourth quarter scored a 5. So interesting to see the splits for those for ruck wise. But
so Steen played 53% ruck contests with 58% CDAs and had 20 hitouts to Darcy Cameron's 17.
Yeah, so it's tough for anyone who like had him,
or drafted him,
but like some people even went him like as their starting ruck.
Yeah, you were thinking about it for a little bit. I feel like
you're Mr. Miller or whatever. He's got him in his team.
Right. There you go. Well, there you go. So that's something to watch, definitely. It still looks like it's a dual ruck thing, like it's a 50-50 thing or 60-40. It's not, Steen hasn't taken over yet, but it's a watch because Steen came in and was good.
Sure.
Over the Giants, though, and they have the bye this week. Not many of us own many of them, but let's talk about some targets because there's a lot at the top. Whitfield, 129. Are you targeting him?
Do you target him or Ash? It's weird.
I was thinking about this the other day. I have never been a fan of Whitfield.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had him in. Oh no, I think I had him last year and I traded him in the week that he got that concussion for the 20. So he's just been in my bad books forever personally. Yeah. But even as a player, I just feel like he doesn't have the same hunger that someone like a Zorko does. And the only reason I compare him to Zorko is the age. The 30 plus kind of halfback. And Zorko doesn't have an Ash. I mean, Wilmot's good. Fletcher's good. Kitty, when he plays there, is good, but nowhere near as impactful and, as possessive of the ball as Ash, who had a 104 here, who was the one, despite the lower score here, I would want to be trading. So he's averaging 115 to Whitfield's 100.
Yeah, because Whitfield went 3 games on the 100, went 87 in opening round and then 2 92s, whereas Ash, he had the 80 in opening round as well as Whitfield, so it must have just been a bad matchup or a bad game against the Hawks.
Yeah.
And then it's gone 2 130s and a 104. So
yeah, honestly, he may have been we talked about how great Sinclair had been. Maybe Ash was the guy, and if he went there as a bit of a pod to Sinclair, then well done. But again, like Jacobs. We're wanting both these guys in our sides at some point, I think. Well, who do you personally target first out of Jacobs and Ash?
I'd probably target Ash. I mean, I've got Jacobs, so it's easy for me to say that. But I think I do worry about what you mentioned before with not before, but in a previous podcast with having Houston and Josh Jacobs is
so Josh is still cheaper.
Yeah.
Although after this week probably won't be. So
probably
it's
be about the same.
1.073 and Ash is 1.107.
I mean, Jacobs hasn't dropped a game below 100.
Yeah.
He's played one less, but he has gone above 100.
That opening round game was against Hawthorn though, who are a tough matchup for everybody.
So everyone will do that. Yeah.
I'm happy to bypass that for Ash, but he makes up for it with the 2 130s. That's the thing. He's got, well, I would say he's got more of a ceiling than Josh, but he scored a 140 in opening round or round 1, I think it was.
Well, if all goes to plan, I should be getting Ash in next week anyway. Here's my trade, fingers crossed.
Yeah, definitely.
See everything goes with injuries and shit, but
I think probably with having Houston, I'm happy to go Ash is a bit of a point of difference, and I think spreading out teams among your team is a good idea anyway, because that way I fucked this up, but that way you have someone who plays Essendon next week.
Yeah.
So, or you get to kind of share around the good matchups, and you're not stuck with. I mean, it's good to have some, Collingwood play Essendon this week, and I've got 5 of them. Fantastic. But then when someone else does, you don't have them. Exactly. All right, let's move on to Saturday, though, and we had the Saints play Brisbane.
Yes.
Top score for the Saints, 106 for Jack Sinclair. It was a low-scoring game for them, and they're usually a high score. It was a low-scoring game, full stop. I was watching this one quite closely, and it just...
Pretty shit first quarter, and then
terrible. Yeah. And St Kilda scored 1504 total points, Brisbane 1652. You'd expect even one of those to be up to 1,700 or 1,800.
Yeah.
And even 1,500 is low for any team, so it's just
weird. But
very weird. Only 3 players over the ton.
But the regulars for St Kilda kind of got it done. Yeah. Sinclair 106. Nasai Wangan and Miller, pretty good game. 99.
Yep.
Flanders with a 94.
And the thing I will say about Flanders, I've said this on the pod before. He builds into his score. Yeah. He starts really slowly. He had a 32-point first quarter, which was he looked amazing. 32, 13, 26, 23. So a really consistent game from him that I was really happy with.
You can't ignore. I said it last week. Even in a bad scoring game, Cal Wilkie's got a 94 again.
I'll let you have this now.
He's putting together a pretty good season. I mean, you're probably not picking
didn't hit his break either though.
Yeah, it's because he's played that fucking well. He's gone 3 games over 100 and 94. He's dropping cash.
He's just dropped. Oh, wait, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong player.
Yeah,
I was looking at Windhager's.
I was like...
76, sorry, he did hit his break even.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Windy in a second.
He's on his bike. It's do you ignore it? This is the same as... I'm probably picking Wilkie over I'm picking Whitfield. He's got a 117 in his... He's got 104, 117, 107, 90.
I know, I just couldn't bring myself to the principle of doing it.
But not at all.
What name would you rather, Whitfield or Wilkie is the thing, but...
Yeah, exactly. But you can't ignore it. If he goes another ton, mate...
Hey, if he's still, I think he might still be on our draft board. I don't think anyone drafted him. So
no, someone did.
Someone did.
I was going to. Someone did before me.
Well, if he's still in draft board, go pick him up. I should have done that. I didn't realize I drafted everyone on the round 3 bye.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I had 3 players playing in my draft.
I realized how shit my team was. I had what's it called? I had Tanner Bruin in a 6-man draft. Because I just thought he was good.
I almost picked Jagger. And I feel like he couldn't have been a bad pick.
But Luke Jackson as my ruck over so many other blokes. And I picked Nick Newman, hoping he'd come in.
There you go.
And then I still smashed him because he had 11 bye players or whatever in a 10-man draft.
Yeah, I had heaps of buys and Hugh McCluggage as well. I picked who was still injured, so hopefully he comes back soon. Anyway, Windhager. We need to talk about this guy. 78.
I think he's
dropping cash now. You got to jump off on this buy. I'm doing it.
Time to do it. We were never. Did we? At the start of the year, did we really think we were going to have him pass his buy?
No, probably not. He was still probably a play, but we just would have hoped that it would have been a discussion. I mean, he's been okay without being horrific. He hasn't dropped like a 40, which he's known to do. I think it's been really
disappointing since opening rounds.
Yeah, 116 opening round, then 93, which was good, 73 and 78. It's not terrible, but you are not holding this over a buy.
Pick, but you just got to jump off now before it is a foul pick.
The only way that I could see you holding it is if you plan to do it next week and jump off a guy who is losing cash, like if you need to jump off a Parish.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, his break-even is still around that 70 that he's scoring now. But if you needed to jump off him, or you needed to jump off someone else who was starting to go down, or a rookie who's starting to go down, maybe you could do it, but Windy's just gone to me this week. There's no way he's not. And not from a scoring point, I want to talk, actually, we'll talk him in when we talk Brisbane. But quickly, Philippou 66. You're happy with that as an owner? Not trading into it. I mean, based off of what the 31 and 33 in the last 2
It's
weeks.
better, but it's
Better.
still not
Cash
the
going
best.
up now, so maybe you just hold that if you still have him. Ron Marshall still played a lot of forward time for 63.
Yep.
He's getting cheap. He's
Yep.
like 800k now.
I can't wait for him to get DPP and then DeConing goes down.
Not that I hope it happens. I don't want to say I hope DeConing
Yeah.
gets injured, but I hope that he gets more of a role. I'll phrase it like that. And the other guy there, Jack Carroll, 53 as well. You're probably moving off that on the buy.
Yeah, I think I am. There's a discuss. I've got to have a good think about whether I trade Carroll or I trade someone like a Lindsay, who's got a little bit more cash, so I can skyrocket next week rather than. But I would just have to wait and see. It's hard to.
Again, the argument that Carroll won't lose cash this week, you could trade him next week, is not bad, but he's gone 78 in opening round, then 58, 48, 53. That's fine cash gem, but he's gone up maybe 100k. I think you just cut your losses and go now. Trade it down to a rookie. Hopefully we get some. I think we're really starting to need some 230ks now.
Exactly.
Unless you're going like a Watkins 400k or someone like that.
Even a Dersma. He's still not out of reach. It's close to it. But...
True, and he's playing well. Over to Brisbane though, and I will say the top 9, Jared Berry there with a 128.
Don't even give him time on this podcast.
You don't want to.
I hate the bloke.
94, 49, and then 128. That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's alright. Whatever. I think this is literally the round last year where I picked Jared Berry.
It might have been.
So he scored like a 120 or something.
Come on.
Never again. Again.
Zorko, 95.
Yeah.
From the surface level, if you looked at these scores without watching the game, I understand your frustration, but just hold with it. Yeah. He was tagged well by Max Hall. Now we have to watch this with St Kilda. So he played like half forward and was still good on his own, but absolutely tagged the shit out of Zorko. To the point where Zorko wasn't taking kick-ins or being the guy that the kick-in person kicked to. There were kick-ins where Wilmot and Fletcher and all those, even Kitty went back into the few, and Zorko was nowhere in the D50. And I looked on my app, he wasn't on the bench. I was like, where the fuck is this guy? He was obviously just sitting off the corner somewhere. And there's also the argument as well that I don't think they would have made Zorko defend, but taking Max Hall out of the game by just making that a null point. Max Hall's a great player.
He is, yeah.
Maybe that is just a thing, but we're going to have to watch that. So St Kilda come up against, the bye this week, and then Port.
Yep.
They probably don't tag a half back there. You're not concerned about that. Crows, probably not concerned about that. West Coast, you're not concerned about that. Carlton, if we do have a Newman back at some point, but you're probably not concerned. Gold Coast. So we don't have too much to watch, but they definitely can do it. St Kilda now have 3 people in their team that can tag. So for all of those matchups, we're definitely on the watch. But yeah, a 95 is solid, and he honestly saved this with a 32 in the last quarter. So before that, what did he have?
I was really excited. I was like, oh mate, Zorko's on 60 at 3/4 time. This is elite. This could be the greatest knock pick of all time. He had 11 in the third. He had
53 he had up to 3/4 time, and then ended on 95. So yeah, not bad. Not bad. So you're holding that. Probably not trading into it now, but his break-even's not too low either. He didn't lose much cash, so we're happy with that.
Yeah.
Kitty Coleman scored an 85, and I'm just going to quickly...
Kick the goal.
He played both half-back and half-forward.
Yeah.
And the role's weird, but look, he's scoring well. 73, 58, and now an 85. It's not bad, and if he can keep scoring like these 80s... He was not bad in the preseason either. I'll just check where his disposal map was. Yeah, so had heaps of disposals in the D50, couple on the wing, and then a couple in the forward 50.
His break-even's 35, still only just above 600k, but...
Yeah, I don't think you can do it with Colby as an option, and possibly Newman coming back this week, who we'll look at. It's almost disappointing that he's cracked now without it. Like, you would have loved for him to score shit as a half-forward, go back to half-back, crack a 90, bang, we pick him.
Yeah.
But look, if you wanted to go there as a unique...
You could.
Value option, you could, but it might set you back a fair bit. Other names there, there's not really anyone, I guess. Ty Gallup, if you had him as a rookie, is now playing as a key defender, as opposed to Zach Kostelski, who was dropped, so that was interesting. But he looked pretty good despite scoring 22, so you're probably jumping off that when you can.
Yeah.
On to Saturday afternoon, Freo versus Richmond, and we saw for Fremantle the top scorer Caleb Sarong, 124, and Brayshaw, 93. I would say they swapped again, but look, I'm as a Brayshaw owner, I'm happy with a 93.
Yeah, it's Sarong scored 53 in the last quarter.
He was bad.
Yeah, he had
14 at quarter time.
6 at the start of the first quarter for first half of it. It was pretty crazy.
It was bad.
Yeah.
And Brayshaw started with a 29, so it kind of flipped a little bit, and there were no tags in this game that I could see. Look, I would have loved for Brayshaw to go a bit bigger than a 93 against Richmond. And when you look at him going 53, 128, 93, it's not fantastic from a unique premium. But when he can pop those ceiling scores in a week as a unique, it's not bad. And hope that he can start to do that because I think they have a relatively good run. Or was this the end of their good run?
The end of it. Or maybe they got one more.
Crows, Collingwood, Eagles, Carlton, Bulldogs, Hawks is their next 6. But then he goes Essendon, St Kilda, Brisbane, North, Geelong, Gold Coast. That's a nice big run. Yeah, I mean, you just hold if you have him as a premium. We're not trading him out until it's luxury trade time.
Yeah.
Probably around the buys if you have him. Luke Jackson's probably the same. You just hold if you have him. He's not doing anything terrible, but an 81 is not what we want. Not the 125 we saw him take against Geelong. I think we can safely say we put that down to a good ruck matchup.
Yeah,
the 125.
He kicked 1 goal 4 though. This could have been huge.
Yeah, he did play a bit more forward time. But also the thing when I say he scored the 125 in an easy ruck matchup, Richmond is a good. Nankervis wasn't there.
Yeah, they had the. I don't even know his name.
Was it? No, what's his name?
Tony Gray.
Yes, I think so. 5 hit-outs.
Campbell
He's
Gray.
the only one I can find with hit-outs.
Yeah, that's 9 hit-outs per
Campbell
game.
Gray.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's bad. Miller had 2 hit-outs.
McKelty with foul.
Yeah, 2 hit-outs. So it seemed that they were just kind of going around with a bunch of guys. I think that guy that I mentioned who was going to come in as a 2, didn't come in, which was disappointing. So, and neither did Samson Ryan, who's their other back at ruck, who's played in the past. So, a bit weird. We'll wait to see what goes on there.
Yes.
But yeah, Jackson disappointing with an 81. Reed, 71. You're just happy with that without being ecstatic. And Sherry, whatever his name is, 24.
It's bad. It's
it's
a rookie,
not
but
great.
it's bad.
If he went down there, it's not great. But look, not terrible. Over to Richmond, though. G. Taranto looked like he was going to go huge.
He did. He really did. But he's still 114.
Oh, yeah, 114 is fantastic. But at halftime, he had 85.
Yeah.
And, I mean, even at three-quarter time, he had 109.
Yeah, he went 44, 41, and then 24, but then instead of 5 in the last quarter.
So he had 109 at three-quarter time.
Yeah, wow.
It was looking like a 150.
That could have been huge. Yeah.
And Jaden Short, 93, you're happy with that if you traded him in. It's a pass without being a tick because Jacobs went huge. Zorko wasn't great. I just, again, I don't feel any more confident over people who picked him as I did last week. It's just you're paying less for a player who's going to do less, essentially. You're paying what you go for.
You'd be happy if you were tossing up him or Zorko, though. I think that's it.
Yeah, probably fine. This week, but I think it'll hopefully
it'll go on.
As a Zorko owner, it'll go on. Grill 68 is fine. We're pretty happy with that. Lawler 67, not bad,
as good,
but not terrible. I mean, when you have Reed doing 71 and Rochelle especially doing 114, you would have wished that you'd paid up for that. On to Saturday night though, and we see Essendon played North Melbourne. This was really interesting. Essendon 1,352 points as a team. North only 1,677, but they had 5 guys go over a ton. So let's talk about Essendon first. Pryor was their top scorer with 87. Caldwell 86. Roberts 82. Parrish 73. Merritt tagged for a 71.
10 disposals for Merritt.
It's horrid. I actually think, and this will probably be my flop, or not my flop / you just need to trade out any Essendon player you have. I don't care who it is. Blackiston is maybe the only one that you
much as Merritt.
Blackiston's probably the only one that you could maybe argue you could hold. But I think, you're probably just... You're getting rid of Merritt, you're getting rid of Parrish, you're getting rid of Caldwell, you're getting rid of Roberts. Farrow, a 66 as a rookie who was a bit inflated as a right, so maybe you could go there if you wanted. But I think, again, we're just staying away from Essendon, guys.
Yeah.
I'm glad I traded Blackiston out a couple of weeks ago after his 40-70. He's now gone 44 at 70, so... It's okay without being great, but the main story here was North and Harry Sheasel, 136. If you captained him for what from memory is now the third highest score behind Bailey Smith and Nick Dacos.
Yeah.
So you're happy with that, very happy with that if you went there. Luke Parker, let's talk about him.
Yep.
He's playing halfback, 135. Can you pick him?
Brought him up a couple of weeks ago. He did the same thing. So he played that first game against Port Adelaide and scored really well. Let me see what it was. Scored 100. Yeah, scored a ton against Port Adelaide. And then played West Coast, arguably easier, although they lost. And scored a 67.
Yep.
But now he's gone bang with a 135. So I wonder
It's inconsistent.
Is he gonna score well in the wins and not as well in the losses? And how many games do we see? I mean, they played Port Adelaide, West Coast, Essendon, arguably.
Yeah, it's a great run.
Yeah. So do they?
Well, they've got Carlton this week, who are a basket case,
True,
that's great. But then they go Brisbane, Richmond, Giants, Geelong. So apart from Richmond, that's a tough fixture. I think you're probably.
There's safer names.
We were talking before about could you pick him as a midfielder,
and he gets DPP in a couple
he'll
weeks.
definitely get DPP. You send him back, or it would have been handy as a forward this year. He was a forward last year, which he played a bit more forward time. But I think if anything, you're probably just. I mean, he's also like 950k.
Yeah, he's
or
up
something.
there.
Yeah, so I think we're probably just avoiding.
Yeah.
Especially because we're probably going to have our eggs in the basket of Colby McKercher, who scored a 116. And yeah, it looked like he had the roll back, the half back roll. So
most disposals for the game. So
yeah, 30 something.
35. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you, I think the right move in the end was probably to just hold him over that because. And that was the thing, is that we weren't sure how long this was going to go for, and it ended up only being a couple games. But if you traded him out, and this is partly on us because we said to trade him out, but you were going to have to trade him in anyways, and it seems like this week or next week is the week to do it. So yeah, he seemed to play most of his game off that kind of.
I took a look just at the start of the round before it happened, just because I was curious, because I did think that he might pop this round and be a good little. And 2,000 people traded him out, but 100 traded him in. I was like, yeah, those 100 people, they know what they're doing. And then he popped. So
yeah, so 77% time on ground he had, as opposed to 71% last week. If we look back at his last few games of 2025, he had 88, 89, 91, 90, 81, 89, 86, 80. So he's sitting well above 80 into that kind of mid-80s, getting up to 90% time on ground. So he's still got a bit to go, and he's still. I mean, obviously, this is 116 against Essendon. Is probably, you can probably say it's about what, a 90.
Well, most people would do, yeah. 90.
So it's not blown us away, but I think that it's a good price to buy him at. The other thing is that I think I saw a tweet somewhere that said that if he scores like a 100 or 110, he's only going to go up 40k this week. He's only going to go to 790k. You're still buying the 790k, right?
For sure.
You get to see it against Carlton, who again are almost just as much of a basket case as Essendon, but probably a bit harder to score against fantasy wise. Do you just wait and watch that?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I think you can still pull the trigger on it.
Yeah, I mean, he's in my tradings at the moment.
Same, yeah.
I think for me to change that, I would have to be convinced of someone pretty hard, and especially see a lot of people going there and be afraid. Like, I quite often see a lot of people trading someone in and then get afraid not to do it. So I'd have to see that to not have him in. But I think he will be that guy. Everyone will trade him in this week anyway. So I also just did skip over who I want to give a massive shout out to, Luke Davies-Uniacke. Hasn't put a foot wrong. Yeah. I traded him in after round one, after his 94 against Port, 97 against West Coast, and now 125 against Essendon. I mean, he was always going to do this against an Essendon, but he's sitting there for me right now at M5.
Yeah, that's solid.
Which is fantastic. Break even of 65. He's at 952k. Only 6% owned, or was 5.7% owned. So he's not even on people's radars. So look, I want to keep him a secret. Not that anyone really listens to us, but if you are, there you go. You've got the little in scoop. Go pick LDU because he's a fantastic player and has Carlton, Brisbane, Richmond, Giants, Geelong, Sydney. So, yeah, apart from that Richmond matchup after this week, oh, hello. If you're watching the video on Magpie, or if you're not watching the video on Magpie, just walked past our camera. Nick Dacos is coming to let us know that we need to pick him.
I mean, that's a South Australian coat of arms, piping shrike. Commonly mistaken for a magpie.
Oh, right, okay. There you go. Don't know my birds, I guess. There's a bin chicken right behind me though, so I'll move on. So Richmond after this week is his only real good matchup. So this is where he's good as unique. I don't think you're buying into him with his fixture coming up. You absolutely hold him. I mean, you're not trading him out.
Speaking of just like solid holds, just Blamires bloke.
Yeah.
75 with a goal, just great. Solid.
I in fact, so good that I was trying to work out ways that I could
loop him.
I was initially, because he had scored an 8 in the last quarter. So he looked really good. He had, 67 at 3/4 time. And I was thinking, man, do I just loop him with Jagger? Do I say Jagger's, but then I thought Jagger surely gets over a 90, especially with this 75. I wasn't going to do it, but I've tried to work out plans to try and get him at M8 and get Jagger at M7, and that's where they're sitting at the moment.
Yeah.
Through some DPP with Grill, who I get to loop in my utility spot this week. In defense.
Yeah, same.
So, I've got Jackson, Sarong on field, with Loop and Grill for one of them, probably Sarong, and then Smith and Blamires at M7 and M8. So I think it's a good structure to have him there, I think.
Yeah.
Especially once we get guys like a Murdoch back, maybe pick up a mid-rookie in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And you'll be pretty solid. Tristan Sherry, you're going to need to trade this.
He's gone. He is going to get suspended.
This was weird.
Bro, just like, the thing that got me is he rubbed his face to see if there was any blood, checked, there wasn't, wiped again, then there wasn't, and then he wiped on it. Like, brother, what are you doing?
So straight to the tribunal for Sherry.
He's gone.
So the AFL, that obviously means we'll want him for 3+ weeks.
That's literally illegal. Like, forget footy. That's just like against the law.
I think it's assault or something like that by the law. So so is punching someone in the head, which you also get suspended for. But this is an out of footy act. The ball wasn't even in play.
Yeah, look.
They were scuffling. If you didn't see it, they were scuffling. Sherry wipes his nose, wipes it on McGrath's face. And I heard throughout the week, Sherry called McGrath to apologize, and McGrath accepted the apology, but was like, "Man, this is not good enough." And just doubled down on it, which I love from McGrath, because this is unbelievably bad behavior from Sherry, a senior player. Got in a scuffle at training throughout the week as well. It's not been a good week for Tristan Sherry or his owners, because he scored a 55. Despite that, you just trade that. You have to go off this. This is the biggest must trade ever, because he's going to lose so much cash now, regardless of the fact he's suspended. Yeah. You can't hold him. How long do you think he's out for?
3 to 4 weeks.
I'm thinking 4 to 6. Yeah, I really think the AFL is just this is not something that they want to tread lightly on. Yeah. They're just going to stand us out. So, and I hate to say it, North Melbourne are not exactly the AFL's favourite team. Yep. If it was a Nick Dacos, Patrick Cripps, someone from a big Victorian club, I'm sure that they would get a little bit of a, 2 weeks, be careful. Yeah. Tristan Sherry, nah, 6 weeks on. No, I'm tipping 4, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's more. But regardless,
love the Victorian team. I saw a stat last week. It was all Victorian teams against all non-Victorian teams. And the Victorian teams won the free kick count in every single game. Wow. That's pretty light. Yes, that's a coincidence, but also it's a pretty crazy coincidence.
Yeah, there's definitely a Victorian-centric thing with footy. As South Australians, we feel it. I know I'm a Carlton supporter, so I do bat for the Victorians sometimes. When the free kicks go our way, I don't mind, but yeah, it's not great. Other names there for North: Lockie Doverston, 36. He, again, like we said, it's the cacker of last year. He's just going to keep chugging along. Yeah. Coleman Jones, 24, was not good, but he could come in for Sherry. And is he a straight ruck, or is he a forward?
Pretty sure he's base cheap.
Yeah, he's 230k still, and a ruck. So just a straight ruck. So, I mean, if you were looking to downgrade from a Vicentini, you still held.
Yeah. Maybe not this week, but yeah.
It's not the word. I mean, you'd think that he's the only guy. Off the top of my head, I don't think
there's any.
They've got the guy from the Crows. No, Finbar Maley went from them to the Crows, didn't he? Yeah. So never mind. It'll be Coleman Jones, I think. Pretty much lock that in. All right, let's whiz through Sunday, and let's really whiz through Sunday, because fucking hell, Port versus West Coast.
That was tough.
Look, at least of all the teams to beat you, it was your second team. Yeah. Who you also kind of support.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. There was a couple positives out of the game. Bo Allen, my boy, kicked his 2.
There you go. He looked good.
First AFL goal and kicked 2. He's my favourite player in the AFL, let alone on West Coast or Port. So I was very happy for that. As you would know, as a fan, as a podcast listener that I've been following him for years, 2 years. But yeah, it was tough, especially from a fantasy perspective, because blokes like Zach Butters, 86.
Yeah, and so he got tagged in this game.
Did he?
This says by Dev Rob.
That wasn't a tag.
Wasn't a tag? All right.
I think the reason...
I didn't watch this game.
The reason he got scored low is he went down for the HIA in the second or third quarter, because Dev Rob got a sling on him, which, mind you, I said in the moment, as he got tackled, I just messaged the group chat. I said, Dev Rob, 3 weeks. Because if Humphrey's got his suspension upheld for Maurice Rioli, I reckon Dev Rob might be a bit of strife.
See, I haven't seen much on this, but I guess he's not, outside of fantasy world, he's not a huge player, exactly. So it might not be that big of a deal to most people.
Keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that'd be tough, especially if you've got Philippou and Flanders.
Yeah.
And can't field 3.
But, that would be.
But it's not a trade, because he's the best forward rookie this year.
Yeah, although his cash gens doesn't stop, but stumps a little bit. So break even of 0 now after the 41. is not fantastic, but
It's better than Cook and Lombard though. They're both positives.
yeah,
So
true. Well, let's go through Port. Look, I want to ask you about Kane Farrell.
yeah,
Does he have the halfback role with Rosie not there? Rosie was kind of playing halfback mid anyway, but
Yeah.
is he a guy that we can
I think
look at?
yes and no.
Low break even.
Bergman missed. Was always just going to miss the 1 week, and he's
Yeah.
clearly the number one halfback for Port after him. But I mean, you can't ignore it. A
Well,
score
the
like that.
other thing is does Bergman come in and play midfield straight away?
So probably not.
He's now had the week off for this foot that's bothered him since the preseason. They're running, guys like Watkins.
I just
through
think
there.
that there was no reason for us not to play Ollie Wines, and I think the lack of maturity in the midfield really showed this week, and they're going to want to put him in. I reckon Ollie Wines comes back in the side before we move Bergman into the midfield.
Off a loss as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think you just got to put your foot down, put the seasoned guy in there.
Yeah, agreed. The game's probably gone a bit past him as a big body midfielder, but
But hey, 94 and 105 or whatever it was for Farrell in a row. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's just something to watch, I think. And another one to probably watch is Jace Burgoyne. I want to mention
he's
him
quietly
as well.
putting it together a good season.
He is. So it's 69 in round one, but then 92 and 100 again. So I think the thing we have to remember with Port here, it's against Essendon and West Coast. Yes, they lost to West Coast, but they're on top most of the game. There are going to be good inflated scores in this.
Yes.
But Burgoyne had a little 10% CBAs. Jumped in there for a few, maybe with Rosie out. Played from the little bit I watched, looked like a bit more of a half-back than a wing.
Yeah, it's usually both that half-back and wing. That's kind of his thing.
So maybe another one to watch?
I personally probably can't pull the trigger on it.
No,
I think
you probably don't pick either of those two.
No.
You just set them aside, put a little star on them, watch them. But a guy you probably do need to watch is Horn Francis. So he had an 87, not quite as good as his 128 last week, but he's going to get forward status.
He will.
With Rosie out now, are they going to want to play him in the midfield? Did he play midfield in this game?
A little bit, yeah. He was in the midfield and a lot in the fourth when we were trying to put that come back together.
Right. He's definitely an impact over...
Correct. Impact over fantasy, as we've
over fantasy.
known.
Yeah. We've all had him before, but 66% of CBAs after 50% in round 2 and then 27% in round 0. So he's slowly building. He did have the injury throughout the preseason.
Yeah.
Is the midfield where they want him?
No.
Is this 60%?
I think the midfield is literally where they needed him for this game, just because we just didn't have the depth that we needed. Okay. With Rosie out, no Ollie Wines, I think they just needed him in there for a little bit of a spark.
Fair enough.
It just didn't go plan.
Well, the rookie that some may have brought in, if they had the room to, was Watkins, 73. You're very happy with that.
Yeah.
Can you still trade into him?
I think you can. I think it's probably the last week. He'll be up above 500k next week.
Yeah.
But
close to it.
Close to it, at least, yeah.
450 plus, which we're probably not touching.
But no, rookie that impressed was in his debut was Josh Lai. I think he's just a straight defender. But yeah, scored 53 with a 0 in the last. So very much could have been
straight mid.
Sorry. All right. Well, he plays defense. So
break even of 2, scored a 53. How locked into the side is he? Will he play next week?
I don't know. It's always tough on a loss to know with the rookies. But
because
Paul historically have given their rookies a good run. Like you look at Moraes last year, had a good run and then got injured. You look at Cochrane, same thing.
Yeah.
You and McKinlay somehow still on the side. We played one game last year.
Watkins is getting a good run.
Exactly right. So probably, but
it's a tough one.
Yeah, it is
tough one. Over to West Coast though, and we saw top scorer Willem Dersma, 86. We missed that. We really missed that, and he's over 500k now.
One goal 3 as well.
Yeah. Harley Reid, 81. Solid.
Kicked 2 goals. Yeah.
This is the problem with West Coast. Top scorer Willem Dersma, 86. Harley Reid being the second scorer in any other team would be probably a ton, but an 81 is a bit rough for owners. Tom McCarthy, 79.
Why we didn't pick
Glad we didn't go there. Josh Lindsay, 62. I don't know why he was ever dropped, but can you still pick him?
Yeah. Yes.
Agreed.
Like, if Selwood puts together a pretty mid game, there's no reason why I couldn't sideways that one.
I'm looking for a good rookie to downgrade to next week. My plans next week are probably to go someone up to a rookie, probably a premium defender, since I'm going a premium mid this week, and then a rookie downgrade. And I need someone to do that with, particularly someone cheap. So Lindsay's probably not that anymore, but well.
Yeah.
Deverell, we talked about 41, and Cooper Duff Tyler, 38. Fine, I guess. Not great. Let's move on to the last game of the round, though, and it was Carlton doing Carlton things against Melbourne. We saw top scorer for them 113, Sam Walsh.
105. This is what do you got?
Oh, I've got 113 on it.
Oh, okay. 1-2.
Let's check on the actual.
Yeah, 105.
105. Don't know what I'm reading.
Yeah.
105 here. So yeah, not bad.
Not bad. Yeah.
Can you target him? Break even of 85,
I think there's
982k.
a lot of blokes who are better than him. For just a little bit more, you'd want to scrounge up. But I think Holmesy is within reach, under 100k of him.
Yeah. So North,
I think
Crows
Jack-
away,
Jack-
Collingwood,
yeah.
Freo away, St Kilda, Brisbane. What the fuck is our fixture? Home game against a Melbourne team, away game in Adelaide, home game against a Melbourne team, away game in Perth, home game against a Melbourne team, away game in Brisbane, home game against a Melbourne team, away game in Adelaide.
Oh, so they're a bit tough for you, mate. No, you see your away games being away.
I'm not and I'm South Australian. I'm not as strong on the argument that I get it for Perth teams because their travel is tough. Yeah. That's a long way. But for teams to have to travel every second week, you get the benefit of teams having to come to Adelaide. It is not a big thing for Carlton to play Collingwood in a home game at the MCG.
Yeah.
It's nothing. Whereas Port playing Carlton at the Adelaide Oval, I've seen one win against Adelaide Crows here. So I think it does even out. I get it. As a South Australian, I get it. There's definitely a Melbourne-centric vibe about the AFL, but I think the home game thing is slightly overblown.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
You look like you have some thoughts on that.
I disagree. I just think it's fucking... anyway.
All right, well, Jagger Smith was the other one there for 85. So solid. But we're not looking at any other Blues. They've had their bye, but they're just not relevant, except for Walsh. Over to Melbourne, though. This is the biggest miss of the year. And everyone missed this. Anyone on Twitter, anyone on podcasts you listen to, anyone on the internet.
And there was no reason. There was nothing. There was no reason to not pick him.
In all our club previews, I remember I just copy and pasted the same thing because I was so strong on it. Max Gawn is an old guy. New ruck rules will not benefit him. We're not going there. Highest price ruck.
41.
No buy.
No buy.
Didn't even have a buy. Even if he did have a buy, say he's gone 109, 127, 138. Say he had a buy in there and you put his 127 from round 2 into opening round.
Yeah.
It's still a good pick.
Yeah.
Still a fantastic pick.
If he went 120, do you reckon we're picking him? Like in opening round, if we had that look.
Oh, if we had that look and he went 120, absolutely we're picking him. Because we did the same thing with English. He looked good. Yeah, I mean, look, if you're looking for a ruck, if you wanted to upgrade a Jackson to him, I believe that could be a 30, 40 point a week upgrade.
You've also just wasted 2 trades on rucks.
Yeah.
Unless you started with Jackson.
Yeah.
Tough.
If you're looking to lock away if you're not confident in your R1 is what I'm saying. If you had a Darcy Cameron.
Yes, correct.
See,
actually, that's a good.
This is where, if you had a Darcy Cameron, you started him as a unique, you can go to Gawn, who is also a unique. Yeah. This is where I think if you have a problem in the ruck, I think I know I said a couple of weeks ago, we're happy with McAndrew R2.
I don't even mind the ruck. I did that last year. I had someone who's. I had started with Darcy Cameron last year,
and he had his buy.
And then went to Rowan Marshall.
Yeah.
Both of whom were unique at the time, and then stuck with Rowan Marshall for literally the rest of the year, and it was a fine thing to do. So.
Yeah. Well, look, Carlton are going to be an easy team this year because there are a lot of high scorers. So Cozzy Pickett 134 did have a goal in that as well, but 24 kicks, 9 handballs, 7 marks, 4 tackles, just put together an all-time, a 52-point last quarter.
Did I say it to you, or did I say it on the podcast that I thought that they need to get the ball in Cozzy's hands more and he will score higher?
Yeah, possibly,
I drafted him with my 3rd pick because I was so confident that he will put together a good season.
He's a top 6 forward.
Yeah, for sure.
He's probably more around that F5, F6, so we're not as confident to lock him away. I mean, who's over him? It's Sheasel.
Yeah.
It's Flanders, probably.
Yeah.
Petrarca when he's back, probably.
He's probably above Flanders, I reckon, Cozzy. If this is a pattern, if this starts to become a pattern, like currently Flanders is above him, but Cozzy's got a way higher ceiling.
He's got a higher ceiling, but he can hit those. I mean, he's got a 78 there in round 2 and a 91 in round 1.
Was that against Freo?
Yeah.
Like that game.
Yeah, that's true.
They did a thing on 360. There was so many times he was running next to the bloke with the ball, and they would just bomb it inside forward 50 instead of giving it to their best user. Max Gawn was the only one that consistently tried to tap it and pass it to Cozzy, and they benefited from it every time. So I think the message has gone out to the Melbourne players: get this bloke the fucking ball.
You would hope it has, because this is the other thing with teams like this who are probably not top 8 sides. I was going to say shit team, but it's a bit rich coming from a Carlton supporter calling Melbourne. But for the purpose of fantasy, not a great team.
Yeah.
this is the issue. I mean, why Essendon not using Caldwell or Roberts
Correct.
as much? Like it's an issue. So yes, they should be using him more, but my worry is that they won't because they're a young side. But
mate, 3 130
134,
pluses.
yeah.
Like, in for a team who's not particularly good fantasy.
Yeah, so Jack Steele 131, the other one there.
Yeah, I got 135 on here.
I think my scores are messed up on this thing.
But yeah, 16 tackles for
135.
Jack Steele. Yeah,
crazy.
that's next level.
Actually, hold on, let me just double check that I did get Cozzy's score.
This
right.
is 134.
134. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'll tell you the player. You tell me the score. Caleb Windsor. Oh, I know this one was a 96.
96, yeah.
No, this one was 96. Man, did he need this to save his ass?
A big last quarter as well. No, it wasn't. So a big third quarter.
Third quarter,
53 in the third.
Well, it's a concern still. I mean, the third quarter is when they started to come back.
Yeah.
So maybe
He
he
had
just got
8
part
in the second
that.
quarter.
16 in the first quarter.
19, and in the second and the fourth, he sat for like 13 minutes on the bench.
Yeah. So 13 kicks, 11 handballs, 5 marks, 5 tackles.
It was enough. And look, it's enough to hold now because his break-even's chilling.
We've got enough other problems.
Break-even's 32.
Yeah, we got enough other problems there.
He's not going down in cash.
Yours, Xavier Lindsay?
Yeah, look, he can go.
Yeah.
He also has a low break-even. His break-even's 40.
He should hit that though. So I don't think it's a priority trade out. But I think with players like this, if you have someone you really want to trade them out to, like if you're really looking at a midfielder and the only way you can get there is trading Lindsay down or him up, go ahead. But it's not a priority.
Experimented with that. How much do I?
Yeah. So look, there's no other Melbourne players I think we're interested in. So
yeah,
as you're editing them, what are your trades this week?
As I'm editing them, my trades are Windhagen and McKercher's pretty locked.
Yeah.
And then it's Jack Carroll to a Watkins. It's just as simple as that. Not fix up a rookie, but get off a rookie when he's low, jump back to Watkins, who's gonna keep going up. And I think he's pretty locked in the Port Adelaide side.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't really experimented with mid prices because I want to
Well, Colby.
Yeah. I've got Colby, but like in the midfield, because I've got 300k, and that makes me 300k. If I trade Lindsay instead of Carroll, I have 750k, and there's no one really that I want to go for that. Like I'm just out of reach of Rochelle. I'm just out of reach of.
I think you're just happy to go the rookie.
Yeah,
I think the mid prices have not done us well.
And then go bang next week.
Yeah.
With up to an Ash or something.
Well, I'm going bang this week, and I'm hoping to go bang next week. I'm going Windhagen and McKercher.
Yeah.
As is the moving Grill into that utility spot as a bit of DPP. And I'm going Parrish to, at the moment, Bont. Solid. Against an Essendon.
That's pretty solid.
My only issue is, do I captain English or Bont? I think it's Bont. Sherry just had a 53 against Blackiston, which might be a Sherry problem, but I think it's... And I think someone mentioned... You might have mentioned this in our group chat. Does Bont just sit forward?
Yeah.
Off a buy. I mean, Bont is going to want to beat up on this team.
You look at blokes like Nick Dacos and Zorko, and they're hungry in sloggings. They're hungry. Bont, he's happy to sit on the bench. He's happy to rest up forward.
I have never been a Bont fan in terms of fantasy.
Yeah,
because he just doesn't strike me as a all around the ground +6 like a Zorko or a Dacos. Like he can build the thing about Bont is he can build his score off of anything. If one thing's not going his way, he'll go forward and kick 5. Yeah. And look, he could play as a midfielder and kick 5 against Essendon and have 30 touches. He could have 30 and 5 here. I also just don't want to trade him off this week. So his run after this week, he's sitting at my M1 at the moment. His run after this week, if I have a look at it, Essendon, Hawthorn, Geelong, Sydney, Freo, Port. So it's not bad. He does end the year well with Eagles, Suns, Richmond, Freo, North, Carlton, Melbourne.
That's pretty solid, yeah.
But yeah, I don't have the cash to go up to a Dacos. I do have the cash to go to Bailey Smith. But again, just doesn't strike me as the type that is going to... There's no one really to go to in the midfield, I don't think.
Not really.
It's not a super fruitful position to shop in. If I just look here, it's... So yeah, I can't reach Nick Dacos. Bailey Smith, I don't really think I'm happy with.
If you didn't have Jack Steele, he's the one you go to.
Definitely. Dawson could be back from injury this week, but I just don't want to go there. Holmes.
I like it.
Yeah. I think I'm a bigger Bont fan.
And against Hawthorn, you're probably not going for it.
Yeah, exactly. Could even get a tag there, but probably goes to Smith. There's other, Libber, Kennedy, Richards are the other Bulldogs mid. Although Libber's, is he not injured?
He is.
He is injured, right. So this could be good for Bont. I think.
But that applies, so he might come back. But it was a hamstring, so he's probably not.
I think Bont plays midfield. I don't
Yes.
think they have like Sanders.
Unless this is the game,
Kennedy,
because they're playing
Richards,
Essendon, they just give Sanders some midfield time.
and
But you can
Freya.
still bank on Bond being in there.
Surely he's just in there. They're gonna wanna.
It's
they're,
weird because
they're vying
Bond's
for
like
a-
the only bloke you don't want to have a good matchup for, because he goes to town in the games where it's close and the ones where they need a win. But in the good matchups, he just rests forward sometimes and he just sit on the pine.
Look, I actually don't think Bond will be there come end of the week, come our Thursday episode. But I don't know who else I go to unless I can't do a double DPP unless I miss McKercher.
Yeah.
And I get like Josh Jacobs or something. But I'd almost be happy to wait for the defender upgrade and get Ash next week. Although I am missing Sinclair this week, so I've got Houston at D2.
Yeah, right. I got D2.
A lot of interesting things, but Windy and Parrish are 100% out for me.
Yeah,
they're just gone.
Fair enough.
I don't think I actually have that many other issues. I mean, Windsor was good.
That's what I'm saying. Windsor kind of saved it for me.
Flanders I'm holding, so Buderick's at F3. I would like to lock away another forward at some point and just loop Cook and Robertson at that F6 and maybe Marshall when he comes back, because I still have him sitting there injured. I don't know. Lots of things to think about, but we'll have thought about it over the week and we'll come back to you with some answers on Thursday. With
any luck, your round 3 team was on the mark
and off the mark, and we'll see you back then.
See you then.
See ya.